Want to know how top PMU artists are converting over 90% of their consultations into paying clients? In this exclusive coaching call, I'm going to reveal the exact consultation framework that has generated over 70,000 bookings and over $32 million in revenue. You're going to get access to real examples, word-for-word scripts, exactly what to say, and all of the triggers to get a prospect and your clients to say yes on the spot. One of our students went from barely making $2,000 per month to now making over $20,000 every single month consistently by just implementing the smallest shifts that you're going to get access to today. So this isn't just theory, this isn't fluff, this is real actionable steps that you can utilize to start making money inside of your beauty business by the end of this video. Without further ado, let's dive straight into it.
Yeah, but basically here, guys, this is the services consultation script. This is inside your templates in the High Stock Club. And the resource that we're sharing right now, it's a guide on how to handle the calls, the phone calls. I know some of you might struggle controlling the frame on the calls and just like leading the conversation towards the sale. So this is a step-by-step consultation script. You can see that we start with a small introduction and just setting the mood and also setting authority with the lead, like you are the experts, right? And just getting them excited about the call. Then we don't jump straight into the pitch, like the sales and what you offer. You actually want to take some time to get to know your lead, get to know their pain points, the reason why they want the service. So get to know them better. And right when you ask those questions that we can see on the discovery questions part, we can summarize their answers. Can you scroll down, Danny, please?
Yeah. So cool. Very, very quick. Actually, like I want to make this super engaging too. So like, for example, somebody says, hey, they're interested in a consult, and then they give you their phone number, and then you call, they say, hello, this is Danny. Who is this? And you say, hey, it's Ashley. Like, what's the very first thing that you say to set the tone for the rest of the consultation?
I'll just be like, hey, it's Ashley. I do say with luxury brow style because I feel like it kind of makes it look like, you know, a little better. Ashley with luxury brow style. Thank you for reaching out. What interests you in this technique? That's what I ask.
Okay.
That's the first question I ask.
Okay, what interests you in the style of brows, basically, right?
Like in microblading.
Okay, gotcha. But usually before they get to the consult, you've already gone through a couple of things back and forth with them, so there is at least some context, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay, awesome. So let me see here. Okay, so let me move this thing. Okay, go ahead, Isabel. I'll let you continue.
Thank you, Danny. Yeah, so as you can see in the introduction, Ashley, it's like very similar. Like we introduce ourselves, we set some authority, and then you ask a question to start with the conversation, right? You want the lead to talk a lot about themselves, so you get to know them, get to know what their needs are, and based on what they share, the next part is to kind of summarize what they told you so they feel heard and seen. You want to make the lead feel comfortable. That's why we ask a lot of questions, because you want to understand what their needs are in order to present your service as the perfect solution for those needs. So that's what it leads you to our next step, that is just summarizing their answers so they get a sense that you are understanding them. And when after we kind of agreed on what they need, it's the moment where you start introducing your service as the solution, right?
Yeah. Can I add two more things to this, Isabel? Just so to drive this point home. So first off, welcome everybody, whoever is just recently joining. We're going over the sales portion of how to run a consultation, and it just works so well. And I think a lot of times people forget these small elements, so it's good for us to rerun it a couple of times. So Ashley, going back to what we were saying, in the beginning, I think it's always really important from what Isabel was saying, is like you want to establish some authority as well. So you can say like, hey, this is Ashley, founder of Luxury Brows. Like, how's your day going? A little bit about me before we get into everything. I've been serving the general area of Austin for the past couple of years, and we specialize in X, Y, and Z, yada, 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 right? And then today's call is all about you. I'd love to learn a little bit more about what you're looking for. And if we both feel like it's a great fit, we can go over the next steps. Does that sound okay with you? So just something like that. And that way you're controlling the frame versus just heading straight into what style are you looking for? It's just too abrupt. So you want to have like an intro before you ask these probing questions. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. It does.
Okay, awesome. And then this, Isabel brings up a really good point, is that you want to summarize their answers. Like, this is like sales ninja 101 tactics, right? Where, for example, you're asking them things like, is this your first time getting this done? Like, what inspired you to look into getting your brows done? Do you have a particular style in mind? Is your skin type like oily? And then once you ask all of those questions, like what Isabel was saying is that you want to summarize that. So from what I'm hearing, like, you have oily skin and you've been trying to find a solution for your brows. So the past couple of years, you're really tired of wasting all this time in the morning, and you want something that's more like a natural look, right? It's like, yeah, exactly, right? You want to get that sort of like, and that's like
they know exactly what you're wanting to get. Like,
yeah,
you know exactly what they want.
for sure. So summarizing their answer is something that most people forget to do, but once you do it, they're gonna think, oh my god, Ashley, like, yes, you are a godsend. That's exactly what I'm looking for, even though you're repeating what they're saying.
Yeah. That makes sense. Yes,
Uh,
I'll add that on there.
Is this helpful so far?
It is.
Okay. All right. Awesome. Isabel, next.
Yeah, thank you, Danny. Thank you for that. So, once you confirm that what they need and you make them feel like you read their mind, it's the perfect moment to start introducing the service. So here, when you introduce the service, it's important that you provide the technique that they need and you make it look like the best option for them. So, hey, considering what you're telling me, I believe this technique will be perfect for you, and then you explain the reasons why. Okay? If you feel comfortable, this is a tip that I like to implement on my calls. When I'm talking on the phone with a lead, I don't know how they look like. So another thing that you can do is, hey, are you able to take a quick picture and share it with me through text while we are on this call? So you can take a look at her brows, and then you can say, hey, based on what I can see and what you just shared with me, I believe microblading would be the perfect technique for you because we can add some hair strokes towards the end of the brow. Like, you can explain the specific reasons why the service is perfect for them, and then ask them how they're feeling or what they think about that. You can even attach some examples on the call so you get the confirmation that they are okay with that style and getting excited. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah, the best way to look at this is you are the doctor and you're providing your best recommendation based on your professional opinion, right? It's like I don't know when the last time you guys went to a doctor is, or you went to a dentist. You just trusted them, right? They can say, buy this, take this pill, and you won't even question it because you just looked at them as this authority. And so when you come from a position of like, okay, thank you for sharing this with me, and based on my experience, what you're looking for, I really think this will be the best style for you because of X, Y, and Z. Your skin style, what you're going for. We worked on so many other people with similar skin types and styles. And so that way it's more of an authority frame, and it works really well because now, like, oh wow, like, yes, like I will listen to that. For example, I don't know if anybody here has ever hired a personal trainer or somebody that specializes in the gym, right? They're going to recommend specific supplements for you to do and specific workouts, and you typically just listen to it because of the way that they're positioning it and you're viewing them as the authority. So I would just keep that in mind. It's not so much of like, what style do you want? I'll cater to everything that you're asking, because a lot of times clients, they're going to ask for things that you just cannot do. They're going to maybe want a style that's maybe the McDonald brows that it's gonna like, I don't want to do that for you. Like, that's my reputation on your face. And so just come from a position of like, okay, what do you want? I hear you. Based on my professional opinion, this is what we should do, and this is going to suit you best because of X, Y, and Z. And I know, Ashley, you do a lot of virtual consults. But what Isabel was saying is that maybe you'll run into somebody who unfortunately has an Android with a green text and you can't face feed them. You gotta say, hey, just send me a photo of your brows. I know I just ripped on Android, so I apologize if anyone has.
I'm glad that I have an iPhone now. Well, but yeah, and thank you so much, Danny. I really I'm 100% agree with you on that. And Ashley, and everyone here, like Helen and Jennifer, once you assess like the client and you provided your recommendation, it's time for presenting the package. Okay? And this means talking about what you are offering and pricing as well. before we jump into presenting the package, you see that there's a question like, hey, do you have any questions before we move forward? Why? Because let's say that it's their first time and you are already providing a recommendation, but they might have concerns or questions about the process, how it works, if it's a tattoo or not. So that's the perfect space to do that, like answer all their questions, and that will help you look much more professional and set more authority with them before getting them to the price, like giving them the price. Okay, so once we cover all of those areas, we go ahead and present the package. And here's an example on how you can present the package. As you can see, we are not just saying like, hey, so ombre brows is this price. When would you like to book? We're actually adding a lot of value by presenting it as a package and highlighting everything that they will be getting. Like, hey, so you get a one-on-one consultation with me. You get a brow mapping and design based on your facial features. So our service is 100% customized. And also you get the full session for your ombre powder technique, plus an aftercare kit and a bag with a lot of goodies. The original price is this. We're currently offering a special promotion, so it'll be only this. And we have financing options available if you're interested. And then we move forward asking a question. Like, something that I like to do when I'm on a phone consultation is that I like to wait after I provide the price. Like, I don't do anything. I just like to wait and see what the lead does. If they have any questions or if they start doubting, let them talk. Okay?
Yeah. Okay. That's always
Make this sound so easy.
Okay, so I wanna these are really good points, and anyone has questions throughout this, because I know we're sort of doing like a mini role play right now. Let us know. Okay, so a couple of things I want to mention. Number one is controlling the frame. When we say controlling the frame, you guys hear that a lot, is you're basically just controlling the narrative. You're controlling how the conversation goes. There's going to be a lot of people who at the beginning that says, hey, Ashley, thanks for hopping the call with me. Like, I like to know the pricing. And the last thing that you want to do is drop them the pricing in the first 5 seconds of the call.
Yeah.
You're right. What you want to do is like, totally hear you. We'll get to that. It depends on what style that you're looking for. Are you okay if I just ask a few quick questions to see what you're looking for is even a good fit? And then that way I can go through all of the different styles and options that we have for you. So just kind of like, I don't know, you can just look at it like a ninja. Move it to the end, right?
Yeah.
That's the thing I would do. The second thing is, I know a lot of times, and I still get this to this day, a lot of times, like, you'll get really nervous on the phone, or you're speaking to somebody and you're like, oh my God, like, what do I say next? My heart's beating and I'm sweating. The best thing that you can do in those scenarios is just to slow down, breathe, and ask a question. So for example, so what do you think about that? What are your thoughts? That's it. And then it just gives your brain 10 seconds to really catch up and think about the next thing. And it just gives them an opportunity to speak as well versus you speaking all the time. So that also helps. And then just clarity questions like, do you have any questions before we move forward? So it just makes them feel really heard, like you're actually going through all of that. I don't know if you guys have been through, a lot of trainings and, like, oh my God, I have like 20 questions and then they jump to the next topic and it's like, wait. Okay, and it just becomes this huge jumbo mess. And so just ask questions, slow down, breathe. It helps a lot. And then here's one more technique that I want to add on to this. It's not so much of like which one is better. It's just a matter of testing. And eventually you speak to enough people where you really feel it out of, okay, like maybe I should go this direction. Maybe I should go this direction. A lot of times when I drop the price, I like to go to an open-ended question right away to push the conversation forward. So for example, the original price is $500, but we're currently doing a spring special, bringing it down to $400. We also have some financing options. And just out of curiosity, when were you looking to get your brows done? Just straight up go into that. So it gives them like no time to really think about financial objections. It's like, well, I kind of want it next week. So yeah, does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Hi, Helen. Is that Helen?
Hi, yes.
Hey,
hello.
I see you taking notes. Is this helpful right now?
It's great. Yes.
Okay.
I love that.
Okay, amazing. We'll do more of these. I lost my train of thought. Go ahead, Isabel. Maybe it'll.
No, that's okay. Like you were saying that whenever we drop the price or like we provide the price to the lead, it's also a good strategy to ask open-ended questions
Yep.
to do not give the leads time to think about pricing objections. And I really love that strategy. You can also implement this strategy through text conversations. Like right after you provided the price, ask them a question that redirects them to an emotional reason why they want the service, and just move the conversation forward. Okay. So right after you provided the price, and it's important that you ask a question to move the conversation towards the next step, which is, well, looking for availability and booking, right? So that's why we have this question as an example, like, were you hoping to book a specific day? Let me check our availability. And then we move forward booking the appointment. Can you scroll down a little bit, Danny, please?
Yeah, let me just add one more thing to that, Isabel, or not add, just to drive that point home. I think it's super important because maybe this is just like a Danny thing, but I like to call random businesses sometimes and just audit their sales skills and just see like what's going on. And so one of the worst things that you can do is just drop the price. Depends. Let me rephrase that. If somebody's asking for the price, like, hey, how much is this? The worst thing that you can do is just say it's $400 and say nothing after.
Yeah.
Or sorry, you always want to push the conversation forward by like what Isabel was saying, asking an open-ended question to push the conversation forward. So even if it's through text, after you go through all of that, ask for the price. You can just say, with the full package, you get this, this, and this. Typically it's $500, but you can get it for $400 with our spring special. Just out of curiosity, when were you looking to come in and get your brows done? Or when were you looking to get your dream brows? Depending on the context of the conversation previously. So I just wanted to drive that point home. Thank you, Isabel.
Thank you, Danny. So yeah, once you cross the bridge of the pricing, the rest of the conversation should go really, really smooth. When we're looking to book the appointment, it's important that you keep controlling the frame and you kind of add some scarcity, like very, very smoothly into the conversation. So for example, you can say, hey, we're filling up a little bit quickly, but I just found a great spot for you on X date at X time. Would that work for you? In case that doesn't, then you can just look for other options and try to give them one or two options and ask what they would prefer. Okay? Like, do not give them like, oh, I'm wide open. I can see you any day of the week, like at whatever time that you want. No, you want to make yourself look busy, like a very busy artist. So control the frame, give them one or two options, and depending on what they say, keep playing with that strategy, like either or. And once you agree on a date, then you go like, hey, wonderful. It's time to ask for the requirements. Again, and this is something really important, we don't go over the long list of requirements with the lead. We make it look make the process as simple as possible for them. We don't want to create a lot of friction. So that's why we ask 1, 2, or 3 questions like, hey, are you 18 or older? Are you nursing or pregnant at the moment? Or do you have any health conditions that we might need to be aware of? And this is a tip that I can give you guys. When you're asking the requirements, you don't want to make it look like super strict. You can take advantage of this time to keep building rapport with them. So for example, let's say that your client is an old lady. Let's say it's a mature skin client. Obviously, you know that they are not going to be pregnant or nursing, right? But you can use that question just to make them laugh, build more rapport, and just keep the excitement and the kind of the good mood on the call. Like, I love to ask this to mature skin clients, like, hey, may I ask you a couple of questions just to make sure you're good to go for the service? And they're like, yeah, go ahead. And I am like, are you 18 or older? And they usually laugh. And they tell me like, oh lady, I am 16 years old or 60 years old or something. Or yeah, so that's a tip that I can give you to keep building more rapport and connecting with your audience. And again, we make the requirements look very easy. We don't ask them all the list, only the 3 or 4 more important, and then we move to the next part. But Danny, do you want to add something here?
It just really depends on your vibe, right? So I actually just wanted to talk about the either or close. It's whenever you ask somebody a question where they can answer yes or no, you're giving them a possibility of having something called an out. For example, like, would you like to come in and get your brows done? If they say yes, awesome, but there's so much room for them to say something like, I'm interested, but not right now, or now's not the right time, right? So you want to give them just two options, like, all right, great, like we're filling in quickly because of the spring promo. We have a few last spots left. We have this Thursday and Friday available. What works best for you? So you're just giving them two options, and you never want to say, what day works best for you? I have my whole, like what Isabel was saying, I have my whole calendar open. This whole month is really good for me, because it also makes you seem like you're new and like, why are you not booked up? Are you because nobody wants to book with you? So even though you have a wide open calendar, you always want to say, our spots are filling up, or we have very limited spots. We only have this Thursday or Saturday available. What works best for you? If it doesn't work for them, it doesn't matter, because they will always say, no, unfortunately, that doesn't work for me. I can only do Sunday. Boom. Sunday looks really full. We have 4 p.m. and 6 p.m. I think I could squeeze you in. What works best for you? 6 p.m. Boom. Closed, right?
Hey, if you're liking this video so far, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. We have new videos dropping weekly with golden nuggets and education just like this. And if you're wanting the word-for-word scripts and all of the templates and all of our amazing resources just like this, go ahead and check out the Beauty Success System. We'll go ahead and attach the link in the description. Go ahead and check that out. And without further ado, let's continue.
I often do that too.
Yeah, but you always want to make it believable, right? You're just like, Sundays are really. You can also position. It depends on, like your tonality and what you've already had context. It's like, so Sunday, it looks like it's kind of full for me, but if I were to squeeze you in at 4, would that work for you? And so now it's like you're doing them a favor.
That does actually work though, because obviously it does work, right? But I had actually tried that out whenever I had seen the videos that y'all have available for us, and I did that. Like, I was like, hey, somebody had messaged me, and usually I would have been like, oh, well, I have Monday through Friday available after 4 p.m. and then Saturdays I'm open, so just let me know like what times. And she was like, oh, and she like kept like kind of rescheduling until there was another client, and I was like, no, let me try another tactic, which was, I was like, I only have Thursday available this week at this time, and I have Sunday available. And she's like, oh, is there a way that you can put me in a Saturday? And I was like, let me look at my calendar. And obviously I had time, because I'm, so sorry. And she was like,
I'm sorry, go ahead, Ashley.
oh no, it's okay. And then she was like, oh yes, please put me down. And she ended up getting her brows done, so
Amazing. Yeah, and this works. Obviously on the phone, it takes some practice to like kind of pause and have that tonality, but over text is quite easy.
yeah, it was the text.
You can always just say something like, it looks like we're really full, but give me a couple of minutes to check to see what we can do for you. So now it's like you're doing them a favor, and they would feel more emotionally attached to it and feel bad if they actually say no, because they were the one who proposed that time to you.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. Yeah, so that is that, going through all of this. Okay, let's go to securing the appointment, and then we can jump around to different sections, because I think there's a lot of other things we can add on to this.
Yeah. So when it comes to securing the appointment, obviously we're talking about the deposit, right? And this might be a very challenging point for you guys to do it on a phone consultation or a FaceTime consultation. However, it's really important that when you are about to request a deposit, you sound super calm, super confident, and just like this is something that you do very regular. Like, it's not something that you don't do. Like, it's mandatory for every client. So when you are about to request a deposit, we have a script here for that. But make sure that your tonality and just your whole communication, it's very, very calm, and you make it look super casual. Like, hey, so you're set for this date at this time. Just the last step to confirm your spot, we require a $50 deposit. This secures your appointment, and this secures your booking and goes toward your balance. You'll only pay the remainder on the day of your appointment. We accept Zelle, or I can send you a secure link to pay through Stripe with your card. And we are also using the either or clause here. You see how we are giving them either one or other option? So you make the process simple. And again, which method works best for you? Depending on what they decide, you provide their information. And it's important that when we are on a full consultation, usually this is something that we do and it's just, okay, hanging up and then waiting for them to magically make the deposit. A tip that I can give you is do not hang up the call there. Wait for them to make the deposit while you're on the call in case they need any support. Like, make it look super casual, not like you're the police, but just like, hey, in case you need any support, here's the information for the deposit. In case you need any support, I'll stay here on the line while I prepare your pre-care instructions for your appointment. So let me know. And then you can just stay on the line, wait for them to make the deposit, and that's it. But Danny, go ahead. I know that you want to add something here.
How do you know?
I can read your mind, but
So yes, no, that is absolutely perfect, Isabel. Thank you so much for that. And so I would like to ask like whoever has their camera on right now, like maybe Ashley or Helen, like when you guys are asking for the deposit, how are you doing it? Do you feel awkward? Do you feel salesy? Do you feel kind of weird asking for money sometimes, or is it just natural to you at this point?
It's easy. I was just like, last step, I just need a $50 deposit to secure the spot, and this can be like it's non-refundable, but it's just to make sure that we secure this spot. If you need to reschedule, just let me know 48 hours in advance. So just that. Yeah.
Amazing. So, but you don't feel weird about asking for it? It's natural for you now?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
But
that's really good.
I have a question. I try to find this folder. Where do I find it?
We can have it's inside of the sales section, but we'll have your team send it to you in your chat right after this.
That would be amazing. Yep.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, Mafra will share it with you in the group chat. Yeah, we have a lot of new resources, guys. It's awesome. So I'm excited for us to go over a lot of them. And then how about you, Ashley? Do you feel weird asking for the deposit?
So I honestly did. But now, because I have had some cancellations last minute, and I'm like, whenever I do go full time on this, like I cannot not like just be playing with my time, not that I can right now, but like we shouldn't, or I shouldn't. So I have been getting a more confident in it and like practicing it in my head. So I asked for the deposit with my last client, and she was in person, and I felt like not fully confident, but I felt like confident but kind of weird at the same time. So that's where I'm at right now. I'm like in the middle. I think I'm transferring over to confident though.
Love it. I love that mentality. So yes, it is a little bit weird at the beginning. I'll admit, it's like anytime that you are asking for money or anything like that, it is a little bit strange. And a lot of times you'll even get some people who are questioning like, wait, what? That's weird. Why do I have to pay a deposit before the service? Especially if they've never really gotten a beauty service done before. And so my only piece of advice here is that the way to look at this is just knowing that it's an industry-wide policy. And you're actually the anomaly or the weird one for not taking deposits.
Yeah.
Because 99.9% of the world are taking deposits.
Yeah.
And nobody wants to do no-shows and last-minute cancellations. It's a waste of your time where you could be making a lot of money, right? So what I would say is we have different scripts as well, but you can always ask like, great, the last step to secure your appointment for this Saturday, we just require a $50 deposit. Keep in mind, like this is an industry-wide policy and this is not any additional charges. This is fully applied to your service when you come in. Simple as that. And we can accept either Venmo, Zelle, or I can send you a link to pay with your credit card, which option is best for you.
Yeah.
And so super simple. And so we have different mechanisms Isabel, I think, posted some in the chat.
And I actually used that script on that client that paid it. And I was like, it's literally all in my head because she's like, oh yeah. And like, she had like no issues. I'm like, oh, yeah. Okay. It was that,
I'm gonna erase this after because I don't want to mess up this beautiful script we have. But just adding as industry-wide policy, and then also, what was I going to say? Industry-wide policy. Please note, this is not an additional charge, it will be fully applied to your service when you come in. That's all you have to say. If you just mention these two things, I would say, remove like 95% of the objections or problems that you have when asking for the deposit.
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so that is that. Okay, and then one more thing for this part, and then we'll jump back to Isabel for this final part here. By the way, I don't think anyone expected us to do like a sales training today, so shout out to Ashley for making this happen on the fly. So we'll get posted in the group for everyone watching the replay too. Okay, whenever you're on the phone and you're asking for the deposit, you don't want to let them off the phone. Because how many times have you said, here, I'll send you the deposit link, and you don't hear from them ever again?
Yeah.
Right. And maybe that has been situations with you guys too, where maybe somebody sent you the invoice, you're like, okay, like I'll take care of it later. And it takes you 2-3 days, you forget, and you might not, and you change your mind. And so the best thing that you can do, what Isabel was saying, is like, so I'll go, is this the best? Oh, obviously you're already texting them. That was a stupid thing from me. You already have their number, right? So I don't know. I've spoken to some landlines today. That's why. You can say like, hey, so I'm going to send you a quick link to this number. So while you handle the deposit, I'm just going to finalize all of your pre-care instructions and make sure that we can confirm your booking. Did you just get that text? Okay, great. So just go ahead and take care of that, and I'm going to handle all of these other things. And so it might be the world's most awkward 2 minutes of silence sometimes. Don't be awkward about it. I know it's very difficult to not say anything of like, hey, like, is everything okay? Like, are you there? You might hear them rustling through their purse in the background, trying to find their card, right? They're clicking on their phone, all these different things, but just be patient. Again, sometimes it could last a couple of minutes. I've been on calls waiting for somebody to call their bank on the other line for like 15 minutes, 20 minutes before. So I would, again, ask for or send them like the text, or they ask for your Venmo. They say they prefer Venmo. You can send your Venmo at confirming if they got it. And then just say like, okay, go ahead and take care of that. And then I'll be here on the side taking care of all these other things for you and finalizing your booking. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Right. Okay. Love it. Love it. Any questions about that, guys?
Good. Thank you.
Okay. All right. And then Isabel, once they decide, or no, once they decide, after receiving the deposit.
Yeah, so after we receive the deposit, it's important that, well, you confirm their appointment and they receive a confirmation like message. And this just gives them a sense of trust and kind of safety to move forward. Like right after you pay someone else's money, it's really good that you receive a confirmation text just to reassure that you did the right choice and everything. So make sure you have that set up and, well, like, hey, fantastic, I just received your deposit. You'll receive a confirmation shortly along with your pre-care instructions. You wait for them to confirm, and just like to keep providing great customer service, you can ask them like, hey, can you please review your pre-care instructions and let me know carefully and let me know if you have any questions so I can clarify with you right now. That shows that you really care about them. And yeah, if they don't have any questions, you can just wrap up the call by, hey, thank you so much, lead. I'm excited to meet you on this date. If you have any questions or need to reschedule, don't hesitate to reach out, and have a wonderful day. And that's it. Like, very easy. But yeah, like, this last part of the call is pretty much easy. You just thank them for trusting in your work, and then keep the excitement going for when they're coming to the appointment.
100%. And so just to add on to that as well, one of the most important things is just to confirm their excitement as well, because there's a lot of times where people, I don't know if you guys have experienced this yet, but you will at some point. If you haven't, 1000%, you will get somebody with buyer's remorse. You know, they pay and then they're like, can I get a refund an hour later? So you want to make sure that, you know, they're feeling good. You want to get them excited. And the best thing that I typically do on a lot of calls is I just ask them, so awesome, congratulations. Like, Ashley, like, how are you feeling? You excited? You know, just being really upbeat and asking them like how are they feeling, and if they are excited, how do they feel about getting their dream brows done, especially if they've been thinking about it for 2 years. Like, hey, like, how are you feeling? I know you've been thinking about this for 2 years. We're finally making it happen next Friday. And so, you just want to keep on adding to that excitement. And that way, it's less buyer's remorse and they feel like they made a real good choice, the right choice by investing into you as their artist. And like Isabel was saying, after this point, you close the call. That's standard. And whatever booking system that you guys have, obviously make sure to book them in so they get the confirmations and reminders right away, not the next day. Because again, you just want to, what's the word I'm looking for? Capitalize is the wrong word, but I'm just going to use it here. Like you just want to capitalize on that momentum and that energy. And so, the best thing, I don't know if you guys have tried to book hotels or airlines over the phone. Some of them will take actually hours to get back to you. And it's like, I just spent $1,000 on this reservation and like, I need my confirmation now. I get really antsy. Versus some others, they're just like, hey, like I just emailed it over to you. Can you check your inbox to see if you got it? And now I felt this confirmation, like, okay, they just took care of me. Everything is confirmed. I'm not going to have any buyer's remorse, no anxiety. And so just in addition to confirming the deposit, you want to make sure you send them the appointment confirmation and reminders immediately as well, even at the same time of you being on the phone with them.
Okay.
Fair?
Yes, thank you. Those are really great tips.
Okay, awesome. And then Isabel, what else do you have here?
Well, that's it from the script, but I wanted to share with you guys something that I believe is really important, and it applies for any call. Like when you are handling consultations, you will like cross paths with different types of leads. There will be leads that are really excited about it and they are all cheerful, and it's really easy to kind of have the consultation with them. But there will be other leads that are more serious and they're not so cheerful. So something that I like to do on my calls is, even if the lead sounds very serious and just kind of straightforward, try to elevate a little bit the mood on the call and the excitement. Like obviously you're not going to be a cheerleader on the call, but just a little bit, keep the excitement going. Even if the lead is not feeling excited at the beginning, with your tonality, with your words and the energy that you transmit on the call, you can make them feel excited as well. And if you're having a phone call like they're not seeing you, remember to smile. Even if they cannot see your face, when you're smiling on a phone call, people can tell. Like I can tell when someone's smiling on the other side of the phone, and that kind of gives me a good keeps me in a good mood as well. So those two tips, like always try to elevate the energy on the call with anyone that you are having the consultation, and remember to smile as well. Okay, but that's set aside.
That's such a great tip. I don't know if you guys can imagine this, but like what Isabel was saying, if somebody is smiling, if you're talking to somebody in customer service, and you can tell that they're smiling, right? Like they're really excited to help you. They're there. They're answering your questions. They're acknowledging you feel heard, and so that's always a great thing to have. Another thing that I want to mention, this is a very small nuanced thing, but you also want to mirror, meaning just like replicate somebody's energy as well. Meaning if you're having somebody that's just kind of really like one-worded, they're just really slow is the wrong word, that they're one-worded, they're just very monotone, you can just tell like they just wanted to get over with. By you being too upbeat and too optimistic, it might push them away, because like I'm not for all of this crazy bubble energy right now. Okay, so if you notice that somebody's just being like short with you, you want to tone that down a little bit. But if somebody's really excited, you want to match that as well. So you want to match that energy. Match and mirror, absolutely. Let me see what else. Guys, we only have a couple of minutes here. I want to make sure we get through like as many questions as possible about this. So I think this was such a great session. You guys have any questions about this script? Maybe objections that you might get, any particular parts or components of this? And we'll post this replay too, because I know we went over some really good golden nuggets here. So now, as I'm scrolling through this, there's going to be two different things that might happen. We didn't go over if somebody were to complain about pricing and have a financial objection, how do we overcome that, right? It's like, so even if you say, hey, it's $500, but let me let somebody in here. You can say that, like, for example, it's $500 but now we're having a promo, it's $400. And they obviously say, oh my God, like that's really expensive. That's completely out of budget. Obviously, that's going to be a completely separate training on how to handle that. But we do have objection handling scripts, and we can probably do that probably on the next call as well. And if everybody here is offering payment plan options like Afterpay and Klarna, that should be a very easy objection to handle, because you can just say, like, I totally understand. Would you be open to hearing more about our interest-free payment plans for as low as $40 a month? And that just becomes a complete no-brainer. It's like, yeah, like I would be open to hearing a little bit more about that. So that's the first thing. And then the second thing I do want to mention is that a lot of times somebody might not be ready to book on the phone with you, right? We went through a scenario where if everything lined up correctly and somebody's really interested, but you will also get into scenarios where somebody is saying something like, let me have some time to think about it. Like, I have to run this by my husband. I have to check my kids' school calendar because I think I have an event that day. I think I'm going to go on vacation. Like, you'll get millions of reasons. And sometimes you don't even know if it's true or not, but you will get millions of reasons. But what you want to do is always set the next point of contact. What that basically means is if they don't close or they don't book with you on this call, you can always set the next time that you guys will chat. It's like, I totally understand. Like, this is a big decision and I want you to take some time to think about it, just because our books are getting quite full and we only have a few spots left for our spring special. Let's plan to touch base tomorrow around 8 p.m. at the same time, just so you can let me know your decision. Is that okay? And so that way you're setting the next time that you will be chatting with that person versus waiting for them to reach out to you whenever they're ready. Does that make sense to everyone?
Yes.
Okay, so if you guys found that valuable, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. We have new videos just like this dropping weekly. And if you are an action taker and you want all of our upcoming resources and word-for-word scripts just like this, I want to introduce you to the Beauty Success System. We're going to drop the link in the description, so you go ahead and click that and check that out. And for those of you who want us to install all of these automated systems into your business and want to work with us one-on-one, I'll also attach the link in the description so you can schedule a consultation call with us. With that said, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and we'll see you next time.